Hi, and welcome to today's daily reading for the 2nd of February. Today would have been my father's 91st birthday, had he still been with us on earth. And today's reading is going to be from, upside down, The Soul's Companion by Tian, Dayton. Alrighty, it's titled Suffering. I will suffer. Suffering is a part of the human condition, a part of the growth of soul. When I run from it, I run from my potential to develop and awaken, to shed old, tired selves and be born into new ones. I could cling to the familiar, but it would make me become ridiculous and dead inside. After all, I change constantly. If I want to look forever young, for example, all I will accomplish will be to look like someone old who is trying to look young. I will be pathetic rather than beautiful. Growth means change, and change includes struggle. If I want to live and love fully, I will need to be willing to struggle. If I really care, I will be making myself vulnerable to hurt. But just for today, I prefer that to walking through life unconscious and untouchable. I see suffering as a potential for growth. And there's a little quote. I can't even pronounce who it's from. Aeschylus, maybe, probably some Greek god. It says, "He who learns must suffer, and even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God." Okay, I'm going to read that again. He who learns must suffer, and even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own despair against our will comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God. Well, I don't know that I've heard it called the awful grace of God before, so that's interesting. I haven't read those words together before. But yes, even in our dreams, we can't forget the suffering, because we have to suffer to grow. We don't get through life without suffering, and we don't like it. We'd rather run a mile than suffer. And, when it comes to suffering, watching those we love suffer is often worse than the suffering ourselves. Or that's our cause of suffering. I suppose my biggest cause of suffering is when I'm watching those that I love suffer. That's hard for me, and it does feel worse, a worse kind of suffering than my own suffering, if that makes sense. Maybe not years ago, but now that's kind of where I've progressed, and that's the change. That's the change. That's the growth that Tian Dayton is talking about. The change. We all change. Yes, it would be magnificent if I looked like I was in my 30s, but I'm not. And for long for those days, it's just going to make me look older, because you can't turn the clock back, really. I know that some people have magnificent plastic surgeons and they look phenomenal in their 80s, but there are people in their 80s and 90s who look phenomenal, who have never had any work done. And they look phenomenal because they are authentic and they are living life as themselves, and they are, I think, following their path and following their passion. I think that's what keeps us young. And, I've been toying with the idea of having my hair turned blonde again. It's very dark at the back, but I have, white front. And it's been like that for maybe 4 or 5 years now. And it was okay initially. I was kind of accepting of it. But the more I think about it, the more I quite liked being blonde. And it's not because I want to look younger for other people. I don't want people to think I'm younger. I don't need that. But for me, when I look in the mirror, I like it better when I'm blonde. So, watch this space, watch for the coming readings and see if it changes colour. I may or may not mention it. But suffering, growth, change, they all go hand in hand. And while we don't like suffering, the trick, I think, is to realise that the suffering has a point to it. there is a point. There's a point to change you and also to help you grow. And that's my 5 minutes. So I will see you tomorrow. Namaste, sending love out to you all, and hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye now.